THSOSA is one of the best association in Nigeria. THSOSA standing for Technical High School Old Student Association. And
anywhere I myself stand or step into, where did you finish from? DSC Technical High School.
The AGM literally is all about discussions and meet to greet. We have two sections. The first section is actually the plenary session where issues pertaining and bordering on the association and the alma mater are being discussed.
Asaba-Amaka 2022. It's been an awesome time meeting old friends, meeting old classmates, and the major part of it is the connect, the business connect.
Hello, my name is Okorodudu Ejiro. I'm from Warri chapter under Unit THSOSA. So yeah, we're having our annual general meeting, AGM, which holds every year, November to be specific. So yeah, it's very important. You meet different calibers of people from different places in the society, go high, low. We come together to connect and everything. You know, this is a special thing. And for me, I'm under the Unit THSOSA group, so we have this opportunity to meet different people, at least give us these guides in life and everything. And this association is very sweet. You don't want to miss any.
Okay, hi guys, my name is Oruba Oscar. I'm from Technical High School, a part of this AGM, this THSOSA. Let me start from the very beginning. All THSOSA is all about. This is like the old student of Technical High School. You all know that. And every year we come together every year to plan ahead for the school, for our future. It's a way of us connecting with old friends. It's a way of us connecting with the people we left behind. So I think, as in, I graduated 2014, so most of the benefit I've gotten from it is that it gives us connection. You can't be a part of THSOSA, you don't have connection. So this body actually connects you to people. So you cannot say, I'm a graduate, so I don't have a job. But no. THSOSA connects you. This is THSOSA. We connect everybody. So I'm a brand ambassador of THSOSA. I'm proud to say I'm a THSOSA for now. I'm proud to say I'm a THSOSA forever, THSOSA for life. Thank you very much.
Then we'll begin to introduce the chapter presidents, and we will also have an introduction of the set coordinators as well. Then we will have a welcome speech by the local organizing committee, the chairman being the Asaba president. DJ, don't allow this. Then we will have the opening remarks, welcome speech by the THSOSA national president will follow, and then we will quickly go into the presentation. So, health talk by the THSOSA Health Support Scheme, THSS, and then we'll have the presentation on proposed THS 40th anniversary following that. On the health talk, we will have making mental health and well-being for all a global priority by Dr. Anthony. And then we'll have an interactive session, question and answers on mental health that has been discussed by Dr. Anthony. Then the presentation on the proposed. At 40 years. I don't know if you reduce the pace. Okay, then immediately after that we'll have interactive session, questions and answers from members. Then at that point we will now begin plenary proper, reading on adoption of the minutes of the previous meeting. Then there's going to be presentation of a THSOSA national and chapter reports. Then matters arising, A will be adjournment and the closing prayer. After that, we'll go for lunch and we'll now go back to the sporting and socializing activities at the end of the day. So once again, I want to call on all of us to and our chapter presidents to come to the hall so that we could start immediately. Thank you very much. Once again, welcome to Asaba-Amaka, the 19th AGM. The time is 10:34 a.m. By 10:40 a.m., we will begin immediately. Thank you very much.
My seniors at the back there, and those at the back, please, if you can come forward and let's fill the ones that are not reserved. If there are any where you are, please, we will need you shortly. We will need to see you here and now. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. As is coming.
2002 set, Abuja chapter national president, not national. Sorry, sir. Abuja chapter president. I'm so excited to be here, and I look forward to the activities that will unfold as we get along. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Come and celebrate her. She's wonderful. Celebrate her, celebrate her. Asaba chapter president. Asaba chapter president, please, where are you? Asaba chapter president, please, where are you? Where are you, sir? Benin chapter president, I hope you're here with me. Yes, please celebrate her as she comes up. Benin chapter, come on, Benin chapter, is that the best you can do? Celebrate her, celebrate her, celebrate her.
THSOSA. Good morning, everybody. My name is Laura Azegyobo. I'm the president of Benin chapter.
And also,
and also the assistant financial secretary national.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. With us. Lagos chapter celebrating. Thank you, sir.
Good morning, everyone. So the president for Lagos is THSOSA, class of 1997. But Tega is unavoidably absent, so I will be standing instead. My name is Sagwa, class of 98, and I'm the vice president for Lagos. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to be here. I saw Laura yesterday. I've spoken with Laura so many times on the phone. I saw her yesterday at the 97 reunion, and she could not even know that it was me that was there. So it's good to be at events like this. I see a lot of 99. I'm 98, so I know a lot of 99 and 97, and it was really pleasing to see a lot of them yesterday. And for all of us that have come from Lagos, they say you don't get welcome to Lagos. You are introduced to Lagos. So this is Lagos. Thank you very much.
Come on, celebrate Lagos. Yay! Come on, Lagos, give me a yeah. Give me Come on, celebrate yourselves. Take your wonderful seats. Thank you so much, Lagos. Thank you so much, Lagos. Port Harcourt. Come on, celebrate your man in the house. Port Harcourt chapter president, we love you, sir.
Everybody. My name is Benawa Fufei, 2006. I'm the chapter president of Port Harcourt. I'm also the set coordinator for 2000 set. I'm doing that introduction now so that you don't have to call me back again to see me. But if during that time you want to see me again, I'll come out and introduce myself again. It's always very pleasing to come out to be part of this gathering. I know we see a lot of names in different forums. Once again, before I go, I will also add I'm the tallest chapter president. Even also taller than the national president. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much, Port Harcourt. Calling on Warri chapter president. Come on, mama. We love you. Keep celebrating now until you say.
I'm so glad
glad to be in your midst this morning. A very big thank you to, by the way, my name is Rolly Ukwishite, class of 90, President, Sumeri Chapter, THSOSA. A big thank you to the LOC, especially to Asaba Chapter President for putting up this event, and it's my prayer that for as many of us that found time to come out here today, it will be a time we'll remember for a long time. THSOSA, all worry delegates, I welcome you especially to Asaba-Amaka. Worry, let me see you. Worry, let me see you. You're welcome.
All right. Asaba Chapter President, I believe you're here with me. Local organizing committee, though. The Asaba Chapter President, but I think we're going to be skipping one. Okay, please, we'll be having our health talk by THSOSA Health Support Scheme, making mental health and well-being for all a global priority by Dr. Anthony Nebe. Hope you are here with me, sir. Dr. Anthony, please celebrate him as he comes up to us. Dr. Anthony.
THSOSA. All right, it's my privilege to read the citation of the person of Dr. Enebe Anthony Chukwugozie, specialist with 8 years experience working at the Mental Health Services Department of the Federal Medical Center, Asaba. A graduate from the University of Benin with a Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery degree, 2003. National Youth Service was in 2005 at the Hospital Management Board, Akwa Ibom State, and this was where his passion for psychiatry was nurtured. Thereafter, he went for his specialist training in 2011 at the Federal Neuropsychiatric Hospital, Uselu, Benin City. He is a member of the West African College of Physicians, Faculty of Psychiatry, member of the Association of Psychiatrists of Nigeria, member of the Suicide Research and Prevention Initiative of Nigeria, member of the Rotary Action Group on Mental Health Initiative. Since 2010 till date, he has been the head of the medical team of the Delta State contingent to various sports festivals and youth games, offering holistic care to athletes and officials, an avid sports enthusiast, and a voracious reader. He has anchored or he has authored with children. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr.
It's my pleasure to be here today with you people, and it's a great honor to be given the privilege to stand on this stage today. I'm going to talk about making mental health a priority, a global priority for the world, because right now the theme of this our mental health day was about making sure that there's a lot of awareness, because we feel that the awareness for mental health or mental illness is dying. So the theme of this World Health Mental Day was to make sure that we build and bring out a holistic picture for people to appreciate why there is the need for mental health to be part of our daily work and daily activities. Now, going forward, I'll give a small history of how psychiatry came up right from the onset, from the Stone Ages, when people looked at mental health or mental illness as a demon-possessed, illness in which there's one spirit that has taken over somebody. And in the past, like in the Stone Ages and even the Middle Ages, they usually do some form of operation in which they will release a hole or bore a hole in the head so that the demon can release the person, and then the person will be free. At the end of the day, people now started doing other forms of treatment like exorcism,
later on burning women and men who they felt were witches and wizards who had mental illness to free the community from the evil ones. So many things were done against a lot of people in the past. Now going to the 19th century, people later started discovering that really these things that are happening to people, these abnormal behaviors, were not necessarily as a result of a demon, but probably it's actually a medical illness. And then by the 19th century, people started writing books, making drugs, so many other therapies now came up. And then people were now kept in chains, either institutionalized or kept in various cells. From then, people also now discovered that, okay, by keeping them together in a community, there seemed to be some improvement. Furthermore, people started realizing that, okay, you cannot tie somebody or chain him, that you must actually be humane in your treatment of these people. That was what now brought about in 1892, a doctor, Dr. Richard, was able to discover the word psychiatry, which means the learning and study and treatment of people who suffer from mental illness. So that gave birth to what we are currently doing now, psychiatry or mental health. Now, there is a problem. There's also a situation, and we all here are the solution. Because the problem with mental health now is stigmatization and discrimination. So at every place we find ourselves, we keep preaching the gospel of making sure that we have anti-stigma policies which will help the growth of the profession. Mental illness currently is among the first 10 disabilities in the world. What do I mean by disabilities? Now, disabilities are illnesses of mental or physical illnesses that affect one, that either make you not talk, make you not leave your house, make you not move, and make you not do a lot of things. They withdraw you from a lot of activities. So mental health illnesses are among the top 10. At least 4 out of those top 10 are mental health conditions. So it means that it's actually a very big problem. Right now in Nigeria, we have about less than 100 psychiatrists. So we are looking at one psychiatrist to over 1 billion people. That's the current statistics. We are not even talking about the other bodies, clinical psychologists, speech therapists, occupational workers. They are all in short supply. So there's currently now a treatment gap for those who actually need treatment and those who are treated. Less than 10% of people who need treatment are actually treated. That is the current statistics. And because of the brain drain in the country, a lot of people are even leaving. The number of psychiatrists left now, I think in the register we have about 190-something psychiatrists, but less than 100 now in Nigeria. I even know some of my colleagues who are psychiatrists and members of this the alumni who are outside the country. So we have a huge brain drain in let's say Uselu Psychiatric Hospital. You need at least 200,000 minimum. How many people? That is for a month. Though. How many people can afford that? The National Health Insurance Scheme, when you come to the hospital, most of the psychiatric medications, antipsychotic medications, are not included in the scheme. Yes, among the medications, very few, the cheap ones that actually cause a lot of side effects. The ones that are expensive, you cannot get them under that scheme. So there is also a problem there. We have, after COVID, the first year after COVID, there was an increase to the level of about 25% in the cases of depression and anxiety we started seeing in the hospital. COVID worsened mental illness worldwide. We are yet to still recover from that. The number of cases that come in since pre-COVID, stroke after COVID, has doubled. When you come to the hospital, if you are seeing maybe like 50 patients a day, We are seeing close to 75 a day now. The numbers are increasing. Yet, the numbers are increasing. It doesn't seem there's anything being done to assist clients or people who are suffering or living with mental illness. There was a national health bill in 2003 that was enacted that was placed at the National Assembly. Later, about 2007, because of no follow-up, it was thrown away. Another one was brought again in 2013, because this bill, what we are trying to do is to see how we can include a lot of medications under the National Health Insurance Scheme. We want to take away issues like forceful admissions, involuntary admissions, periods you can keep somebody in the hospital free for some time, stigmatization issues. A lot of things have been encapsulated in that mental health bill. Thus, the National Assembly has passed it currently since 2020 now. It has still been waiting assent at the table of the President of Nigeria currently. So I know that there may be policymakers here, those who can help push this thing. What we are just begging, by the time that mental health bill is signed into law, a lot of things will open up. For now, the number of psychiatric hospitals are so limited, because many hospitals do not offer inpatient care because our clients are kind of unique. So there are some certain things that need to be in place for you to open a center for them. So like in Delta State now, we just have we have a department where we see patients, but we do not do admissions. If you are going to admit a client now in the whole of South, you have Usolu Psychiatric Hospital, and then we have the new psychiatric hospital in Calabar, which are grossly inadequate. Usolu Psychiatric Hospital has about 358 beds, and it is full. People come there every day, they are sending them back. When we send them from Asaba for admission, they send them back to us again. So all those things are part of the issues we have put into the National Mental Health Bill that will expand the treatment of our patients. Now we have talked about the situation. What really may have, let me just give you some small tidbits about what may lead or risk factors that may cause some form of mental illness. We don't really know exactly everything that may cause mental illness, but we have risk factors, and we divide them into bio, psychosocial. Some biological causes could include some form of illnesses, chronic illnesses, head injuries, diabetes, hypertension, long-term illnesses, some diseases, some other conditions like the mental health of the maternal health of the mother during pregnancy. Those ones also fall under the biological. There could also be some psychological issues, loss of jobs, loss of a loved one, maybe an accident, not an accident, that's under the biological, maybe natural disasters, but major stressors can contribute to you having a mental illness. Some other social factors could include your upbringing. Probably you were part of growing up, you had a dysfunctional family, your community, your church. Some churches have some funny dogmas that affect individuals probably later on with maybe issues like religious delusions and other things, peer pressure, using of hard drugs, making you take substances. So all these, and then may cumulatively lead to symptoms of a psychological illness. But that's notwithstanding, there are also issues of hereditary inheritance from either genetic malformations at birth. So when we look at all this in a holistic form, when individuals that have all this are most likely will have a mental illness. Now, what symptoms may you expect? There are some common things that you will just see, because I don't expect you to know so much. But when you see your child or your friend behaving in a way that you don't understand, Because one thing about the illness is that you don't seem to understand a lot of things about it. This man, there's the way he's now behaving. He used to be very active, very agile, very welcoming, but now he doesn't come, he doesn't do that again. You may observe something, this person comes to work every day, very active at work, but of recent, when you ask him, he doesn't want to come to work, he gives excuses. I get fever, my body they pain me, this and that, one thing. You know, it's not very clear. That's a red flag. You observe that your sleep pattern, your friend's sleep pattern has changed. You observe people who weep, continuously, unprovoked, unexplained weight loss, some form of negative thoughts. You don't see somebody for no cause, just cause. He just wakes up and says, my will. You need to ask, what is going on? Are there any suicidal thoughts? Like people, recently, the upsurge in the number of people who are committing suicides has been on the increase, even up to 2 days ago. One thing about suicide is that there's always a cry for help. Just about 3 to 1 day before the incident. But we are not smart enough to pick it at that point in time. So, if somebody is going to commit suicide, you can never tell, but there are some certain signs. The person may come to meet you to discuss an issue. The person may come to meet you to request for a help. It's not compulsory that you must assist that person with everything the person desires, but listening to the person, discussing the person, and offering other channels of support can also help prevent that action that could have happened if you did not take that step. So the number of suicide cases are actually increasing. The person may have come to you once in a while for either advice or for help. Some other symptoms you may experience or see from people is hotness, recurrent headaches, crawling sensation around the body, persistent talking about a loser, I'm no longer happy, I'm tired of this world. Everybody seems to see me as a problem. You are always thinking what we call negative at every point in time. So all these are, you can offer self-help, and then you can refer the person. Probably you need to see a doctor. We have said that it's difficult these days now because the number of psychiatrists are reduced, but that does not stop you from at least assessing your general practitioner in the hospital. They are also well trained in helping out with patients who have or who live or who have symptoms of psychological illness, at least for the first aid period. So those are some things in which you as an individual can do on your own part. Now we have talked about this. Concerning the issue of making the mental health well-being a global priority, what are our own roles as individuals? The platform like this is an example. The schools is an example. Where we work, they are all platforms in which each and every one of us has a role to play. Either you are a pastor, either in your workplace, either in your home, either in the school. These are all platforms in which all of us can become useful by ensuring that whatever we see, hear, or notice, we take some action. The first thing we always tell people is try to avoid stigmatization. That their family, they get person with the grace for them. You know, go won't marry for them. You get that one, the behavior, and not get them dead. So those things sometimes they are negative statements that may even push the person away from even seeking help. It may isolate the person because forums like this now, look at everybody. People are exercising your own fundamental human right to associate. You people are communing as a family, talking to each other. Some people amongst you here may not have the opportunity because maybe he or she feels they don't like me in that place. They don't want me. They don't, the person has already given himself self-stigmatization, and also the group too has stigmatized the person. However, if that person is welcomed, giving that loving attention, he will come here, he will talk, he will see people, that the atmosphere here is very uplifting. Very, very uplifting. So we as members of the Alumni Association, in our own various places, that is going to be our take home. We must ensure that anybody we see or suspect living or having a mental illness or who you think may be predisposed, we must show the person love. We must bring the person close. We must talk. We must involve. We must refer. We must ask so that you can learn. That is one aspect, helping out. Second aspect is ensuring that you yourself as individuals must know about mental illness so that you can also educate others. When you see people say he wanted to commit suicide or he committed suicide, it's an abomination in the village. They will ostracize the family. Those practices are not good. You must talk about them. You must speak against them. The person who committed suicide, most likely 90% of the time, had a psychological illness and the person needed help. So you cannot say because of this, when it now happens, the family will now hide it. Whether they would have even come out to say, my son committed suicide or my son attempted suicide, so that he can get help and prevent any other occurrence. But the family will hide it. So all these are the issues why I say stigmatization and discrimination is one of the major things in which we face. There's for example, now in Asaba, there's I don't know anybody that's in that church, Sabbath church, where what they are almost like running pace for pace with us in terms of managing psychological illness. They don't know that it's terrible. After you spend almost 500,000 you now start running back to FMC, when statistics have shown that the longer the duration of the psychosis or the untreated psychosis, it is more difficult for you to treat. So if you observe all these things on time, let the person come. There is help. It can be treated. It can be treated apart. In Africa, yes, we are spiritual beings, we are Africans, we know that there is maybe witches and wizards in their own aspect. But however, for medicine, mental illness is an illness. There are neurotransmitters that cause these problems in addition to other psychological factors, and there are treatment modalities for treating them. Okay? If we expect that there is need for spiritual therapy, even right there in the hospital, while you are getting treatment for your drugs, we have a clinical psychologist, we have a spiritual therapist, we have things the spiritual therapist goes through some certain training, so that it is not as if we don't believe that the person needs spiritual therapy. Most of the clients who we know are religious, there is a reduction in number of suicide that they commit, there's a reduction in depression, there's a reduction in anxiety. So we work hand in hand. While the therapeutic session is going on, the prayers can continue. But you cannot say, because I'm doing prayers, I will not go and see the doctor. That's why we do what we call a holistic form of treatment. Both the medical is going on, we have a spiritual therapist right there and who is employed by the hospital to give spiritual succor. The clinical psychologist is there, the speech therapist is there, occupational therapist, all in one, managing one person. Okay, so we have to make sure I've spoken about ensuring that we don't stigmatize them. We must also educate ourselves about what mental illnesses are. We also have to make sure that we do not do what we call this over-involvement, negative comments for people who have mental illness. You want to say, I want to do this. I want to do this. I mean, leave on me. It gets sense. You don't know anything they talk. Those things are negative comments that reduce the person, and also it make the person not continue with what he or she would have loved to do, because he would just feel that they don't believe in me, they are not ready to listen to me, let me just stay. And by staying there, by being withdrawn, by socially withdrawing himself, he's also worsening his own condition. I think I've covered what these problems are, which is the fact that we have a shortage of manpower. Mental illness is also on the increase. The treatment gap, in which people who need the treatment and those who actually get it is widening by the day. The platform, which we all are aware of, our houses, schools, churches, and the need to avoid stigmatization, and the need to also educate ourselves on what the illnesses and symptoms are. I think that is enough for us to take on today. So thank you very much for listening. It's my pleasure.
Thank you very much, sir. Your question, please, because of time. And chapter.
Chapter. I'd like to know, can a mental illness be treated completely? Like anxiety. There are certain things that bring anxiety that you could take care of on your own. But with time, you notice that the anxiety begins to heighten. Panic attacks begin to come. Certain things that would happen ordinarily that you just walk away. After a while, you notice you begin to have panic attacks. Serious panic attack that you actually feel your heart is running out of your body. Can it ever be treated? Like, can you ever go back to who you used to be? Second, what are some of the side effects of these mental health drugs? Thirdly, what are some natural remedies we have?
Mental health problems in their friends and relatives. Sometimes these things do not present as you have mentioned it. It does not come with changing character, changing style, or changing whatever. So how do you identify, especially when intuition tells you that this person is struggling with anxiety, but it's not showing in their daily, they are very good at covering it up, but intuition tells you that this person is struggling, but you cannot physically point out the things. For example, somebody tells you now, has their sleep pattern changed? Has their speech changed? Nothing has changed, but you know this person is struggling with anxiety or some other mental health issue. How do you identify it? And how does a doctor, if you make a report to a doctor or to a psychiatric, how do they, what are the methods that can be used to take care of this? Why I'm asking this is not a big question. This is a question for a couple of friends that I probably know. I know we all have mental health issues in this country. Nobody is free. But there are some people you know that need treatment to kick off their life. How do we identify this?
THSOSA. Okay, my question, worry chapter. So my question goes like this. Most of these mental health disorders, their symptoms are similar and they correlate sometimes. You can have more than one. There's not really any test that you can run. They look at your behavioral pattern. So what's that? The chances of misdiagnosis, giving you drugs for another one. Most of them, they have the same behavioral, the same symptoms, yes. Like behaving as if you are not behaving normally, let's say. So I'm having issues of misdiagnosis, giving you another drug, then coming back again and saying, no, you don't have bipolar disorder, you are schizophrenic, something like that. So I don't know it very well, so I'm still asking questions. What are the biomarkers? What are the tests that they can run to confirm what exactly is wrong with them?
Okay. Class of 2003, Abuja chapter. I want to thank the doctor for his very beautiful presentation. My first question goes, is there an average cost implication for treating some certain level of mental illness that people can know about? The reason is this. You don't want to say, I want to go and treat a mental illness, and they say, go and do electroencephalogram, and they tell you the price, and the mental illness comes immediately. So that's the first. Then the second is, as part of being part of an association like this, can we have access to a humble self-serve so that it can be one of the values of us being here? We can see you, discuss our own mental health issues, and get solutions. Thank you very much.
2003 sets in chapter. My question is regards to drugs that are prescribed for mental health patients. The question is, the drugs that are prescribed, do they have addictive properties? And if they do, is there a way to prevent the mental health patients from moving from treating mental health issues to becoming addicts?
I have about 1, 2, 3, 7 questions. Okay. Your question was, can mental illness be completely treated, especially cases like anxiety and other things? Okay. That is a question that keeps coming up all the time. Can mental illness be treated?
Cured.
Completely.
Cured is the word.
Okay, that's treated is separate, cured is a different thing.
Can it be cured?
So, if I'm going by what she asked, can it be treated? Yes, mental illness can be treated. Completely. But it depends on what you are actually managing. And I said something that the duration of untreated psychosis makes it more difficult to treat certain conditions.
Before you get to psychosis.
The duration of untreated psychosis makes it difficult for certain conditions to be treated. As vis-a-vis when you come as the symptoms start presenting. That is one. Another thing too is that there are certain conditions also that have a specified duration. Some you manage for 2 years consistently without breakage of the medications. When you break your medications, you now have a relapse. The period in which you are supposed to get better now becomes longer. We're now treating for about 5 years again. When you break it again, we convert your treatment to lifetime. Are you seeing what I'm saying? Now, you asked about anxiety. Managing anxiety, there are medications for anxiety. There are also other therapies for managing anxiety. Both psychotherapy, both breathing exercises, both yoga. So the list is continuous. I've managed so many people who have come out from anxiety disorders. So for anxiety, you can treat anxiety completely and it will go. But what you need to do is to ensure that you go to a center that has what I would call a holistic level of management. Because when you manage anxiety, it's not just only the psychiatrist that is involved. Like I said, psychotherapy. Psychotherapy may be given by the clinical psychologist, may be given by any other trained staff. So it is not just one medication, especially, and knowing fully well that the anxiety depends on what you may have found out to be the trigger. If you take away the trigger, if you're able to manage the trigger, you reduce the amount of neurotransmitters that are released in your system, you will get better. So there is treatment completely for anxiety. But for certain other conditions, it depends. Sometimes the family is tired, they stop giving you medication, you will have to go back again. We give you 2 years, we give you 5 years, they will change your medications to for life. Okay? So there's complete treatment. And for us as a faculty, we believe that for us to say you are cured, we are happy with the fact that you can perform your basic activities, you can relate well, you can marry, you can go to work, you can do what every other person does, even though you are on medications. For us, that's a pass mark. If you are able to do that, we go home and sleep very well that yes, we have treated this person completely. Yes, you wanted to know the side effect. The side effect, there's no drug without the side effect. There is no medication without side effect, even vitamin C, even paracetamol, unless you are drinking water. So if you ask me what are the side effects, yes, antipsychotics, antidepressants, they all have a myriad of side effects. But what we just do, we balance the side effects with the beneficial part of that medication. Which one is more important or which one is higher? If it's too much, if the side effects are overwhelming the effects of the medication, you stop, you change, we'll give you another one. But every drug, there's no drug on earth that doesn't have a side effect. Okay, you talked about natural remedies. Well, when you talk about natural remedies, well, for us, natural remedies are things like your basic exercises, self-care, sleep hygiene. So there are a lot of natural remedies we can teach you that you can help overcome other, in addition to your medications and other therapies that can help with managing your medical condition, your psychological condition. So what do we do about some friends who have illnesses and you want to take action? Yes, that's a challenging one because you cannot force anybody to come to the hospital. If I say I'm fine, you cannot force me to the hospital. But you are seeing something else because you are the mirror. The person doesn't see what he's doing, but you are the mirror seeing what the person is doing. You believe there's something wrong. So what you can do, if you have spoken to the person, you can first and foremost give some advice or offer some support to that person. Then you look for or ask for any family member that the person listens to or respects. You can actually approach that person or the pastor and tell the person what you have observed about so and so person who is your friend, and see what you think or he or she can actually do so that the person can receive specialist care. Because the bottom line is the person needs to come to the hospital. So all you are looking for is ways in which you can actually bring that person. If the person cannot agree, there must be one person in the family, in the church, or within the community that the person may listen to and decide to come and see us at the hospital. It's not compulsory to come to see the psychiatrist immediately. You can see the general practitioner and then discuss with the person. Okay, change that diagnosis, giving another drug. And what tests we do? You see, for our training as psychiatrists, there are some investigations you do. You do your routine investigations to rule out other causes of what the person, he or she, is going through. Okay, you do your routine investigation. There are also some specialized investigations which we do. All right, but those ones are actually, it's not all of them that are blood or urine based. Some of them are questionnaires. Some of them are specialist assessments. So the key thing is your mental state examination. Your mental state examination, for you to make an assessment of an individual, you have to do a mental state examination, and you don't base your diagnosis on that first time mental state examination, because what you examine today may be different from next week. So you have to examine the person for a period of time before you make your diagnosis. So that's why when you say the person made one diagnosis now, tomorrow he made another one, is because that first diagnosis, he didn't make it as a definitive diagnosis, he made it as a tentative diagnosis. But you make a tentative diagnosis, you can change it as many times until you get a definitive diagnosis that you want. So you also said that the symptoms are the same. Yes, here and there they're the same, but there's always a fine difference. That's why the diagnostic criteria for each disorder is well stated. So even though you may see sleep, difficulty in sleeping for mania or bipolar or depression or schizophrenia, but we are looking at the quality of that sleep. Some people find it difficult to sleep early. Some people sleep early, once they wake up at 12, they cannot sleep again. Some people have difficulty having intermittent, they sleep, wake up, sleep, wake up, sleep, wake up. So each one is instrumental to a different, and so it is not just that the sleep is bad, but it has its quality. So every symptom has its own particular quality, which is now used to make your diagnosis. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah? Okay. Now, the cost for treating of a mentally ill or depending on a mentally ill patient, it varies. Initially, there were cheaper medications, which we call first-generation drugs, which were the drugs that were used in the past. When you see a patient, sometimes on those medications, they make you fat, they make you a bit slow, you may see some certain movements, so that maybe shaking of the hand or something. than what was there before. Those other first generation are still usable because they are as efficacious as the current ones, but just like the side effects are more, they are cheaper. These other ones are more expensive. Okay, so sometimes you may have to weigh, can the family sustain the management? It's not about starting. You are using 20,000 a month for this drug. Can they sustain? But if you put them with the 3,000 watt a month, you see that they're able to sustain. So everything has to, you have to balance it properly before you now decide to take a decision. We weigh everything. We weigh your educational status. We weigh your family support. Everything is put into consideration before a decision is taken on your medication. So we cannot really pinpoint and say, okay, this is the amount you can use, this is not the amount. But what I'm specific about is that, for example, Selu Psychiatric Hospital, if you want to admit a patient for a month, you need to hold about 200,000 naira. Yes, you can have access to me. I think I have been called on this. I've been called on some occasions to see one or two of your alumni who have had issues. Even went to Warri. I went to Warri for a private visit for the person. I don't know what he said. Some of your friends, they call for people from your alumni. They call me, so you can always have access to me. And then my colleagues here, Dr. Sore, we are so close. Anytime you want to see me, you can always call him. As he just spoke to me, called me, just told me once. I just agreed because I have so many of your people, even in Benin. Dr. Asaba-Amaka, the husband of Laura, was my classmate right from Shiliben till we finished our program. So many other people. See Tony there. Tony, well done. So the medications have addictive value. Some of them may, but that's when you're using them for, you're now using it for negative, how will I call it now? You're now coping with them negatively. So when we observe that, we usually discontinue you from using that and we change. So to your question, yes, some of them have addictive value. But when we observe that you are now using it for the addiction, not for the curative effect, then we have to discontinue it.
Thank you, sir. Can we give a lead you to another mentor? Okay, so at this juncture, I would like to give the mic to the moderator to take us to the next thing.
All right. Please, THSOSA. Another round of applause to our very much. You will all agree with me that he has done very, very well. Has done justice to this topic. Initially, I was scared we were not able to get him a projector. So we promised him that we were going to send the presentation to our social media platforms, the aid of the projector. So once again, I would like you to applaud him. And THSOSA National would like to express our appreciation to him. And I would like to call on the National President of THSOSA, Engineer Silvanus Ajuya, to kindly do us the honors to present him with this sign of appreciation.
Thank you very much, Dr. Anthony Enebe. I want to say I really appreciate your time. Actually, let me just give you a brief background why we have to do this. Initially, we have the THSOSA Health Support Scheme, which is like the doctors amongst us or the medical practitioners. We look at it as a unique something that we need, people we might need medical support one way or the other, so we have to create that so that they can give health talk from time to time. Last AGM it was a different talk, but this one, part of the program they have is that you look at the World Health Organization, there's each year, almost every month, they celebrate one health stuff. So this World Mental Health Day was on 10th of October. We look at it, our AGM is close by. Let us just have the talk. Instead of having a webinar, let us have a talk. That's why we have to engage someone. And I really appreciate what you said in terms of the manpower that we have in the country. Because I remember when we had a program in Warri too, I told them I never knew, I thought I was up to date with the statistics. I thought it was about 300 psychiatric doctors we have, but now you just said 100 and something. So you can see we have a big problem now, and we are lucky to have you here, because to look for, I remember when we had to do something, we looked for just the whole of Central Hospital, was no one. So it's for us to get one, and a consultant for that matter coming here, we need to really appreciate him. Please, can we give him a round of applause? Thank you for your time. When we engaged you, you accepted. The way it was just calling members of THSOSA, because you know in medical school we are associated with a lot of things, as if it's member one of us. So that's why we could call Anthony, call Akowai, then Wire, sorry. So thank you, and Laura's. In fact, when I told Laura, before I could finish, when I called the husband, I wanted the husband to give this talk. So I said, unfortunately, I am getting back to you since something happened that you cannot come. But we are going to get somebody in Asaba. Before I mentioned Asaba, he just completed it with your name. So I said, how? He said, I know you very well. So when I was telling Laura to that, I called your husband. I informed him that there is one. Before I finished too, Laura mentioned your name. I never knew how we are all interconnected. This one is a small place, that is the truth. So we want to say we appreciate you. And I believe, like he said, apparently you have been even helping somebody and some of our members without us knowing. So we believe that if there's anything, if it gets to that level, we'll always reach out to you or any other person that is within us, in the association that can always assist us. So this is just a token. So THSOSA. So this is a recognition award presented to Dr. Anthony C. Enebe.
Laura.
Sorry.
So sometimes before you go for check, just make sure you are eating. Sometimes now hunger, now the cause of these things. You don't have any problem. You just need to eat, be satisfied. I'm talking out of experience. So let's move on to the next agenda. So we'll be talking about the 40th. Okay.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. All right, let me introduce myself. My name is Tega Okurari. Yes, I'm an on-air personality, Quest FM and television. If your hands are not too busy, you can clap for me. You need to clap for me. It's not easy. Okay, I want to do something very quick. I don't know if they've done this before. I'm not used to speaking English. Get away today. Because no, it's not as if, I know when I was going to THS, I can attest to the fact I was owing like 2,000 or something before I left. So like times two. Okay, okay, now everybody, I just want us to do something. Just stand up. You've not persons that you don't know, 5 persons, just relate with them. Let's just get to know ourselves. Let's just reconnect. Just stand up, greet 5 persons that you don't know before. You've never seen them. Connect with them. Connect with them.
the AGM was tagged Asaba-Amaka is still correct to reflect the potentials that exist when we network. And as such, we have planned an initially we planned for a 1 hour event, but eventually spanned over 3 hours, where we had a lot of interactive sessions, both old and new persons meeting each other. And I think it's something that it was very beneficial for everyone of us that partook in it. And then also, for the first time, we also had a visitation to the internally displaced persons camp to improve our corporate social responsibility and improve our visibility outside. I think also that's something that we should engage more with. The address will not be complete without recognizing all those who made this AGM a success. The members of the local organizing committee labored tirelessly. I also want to mention friends of Asaba chapter from all over the country, from Lagos, from Warri, and then also Benin, Abuja, and then the THSOSA National Executive Committee for their support. Port Harcourt especially. Your name is there, don't worry. I was going to mention your name especially. Well, I want to single out certain persons, National President Tobo Chunu, Olive Okorefe, Reta Ibofale, who be that? And then past President Clement Adutrome, Celestine, and set of 99 especially, they rallied around us to make sure that it became a success. Once again, welcome everyone to Asaba. Have fun. Asaba is safe. Like we mentioned, today is the height of the cream of the events, and we have a lot packaged for you today. So have fun, enjoy yourself. Thank you very much.
Where we are going to, we don't know. But anyway, no. We on air personalities, we don't do that. It's not nice to do it. It's not nice. But anyways, I want to say something. The first time I came to Asaba, I asked myself this question. The whole of Asaba is filled up with... I begin to wonder if the whole... Hello. All right. Am I right? Am I right? Am I right? The whole Asaba hotel. Am I right? Okay. Well, anyways. Okay, hello. Okay, now I want to call on the national president of THSOSA to just do this. Okay, now Asaba is filled up with what? Hotel and you said? Club. Okay, club. But I want to bring up on this wonderful, should I call it podium, the national president of THSOSA to just come up to give a speech. If your hands are not too busy, please clap for my president. That clap you are clapping is not for my president. It's not for my president.
Thank you very much. Opening remark or welcome address. Distinguished state students, good morning to you all. Great to see your beautiful faces direct in Asaba. I believe that since your arrival, you have seen one or two things that tickle your fancy. I am pleased to welcome you to Asaba for the 19th Annual General Meeting of the Delta State Technical High School Student Association, THSOSA. The one and only value-based old student association. If you doubt, go and verify. This annual general meeting is unique in various aspects. This is the first time THSOSA Asaba chapter will be hosting the AGM, and the first time the tagline for any AGM is expressed using an indigenous language, Amaka. Why Amaka? Well, this is a question I did not bother to ask the LOC to avoid being tagged a racist in my state. Rather, I was more curious to ask, what is the meaning of Amaka? The source of my curiosity, like the source of the River Niger, was not too different from the expedition embarked upon by Mungo Park and the Landa brothers to trace the source, to trace the flow of the river, which in contradiction to the law of geology flows not towards the ocean, as all self-respecting rivers of the world do, but to the opposite direction, towards the Sahara Desert, and then takes a sharp turn near the ancient city of Timbuktu before heading towards Nigeria and discharged into the Atlantic Ocean through the Niger Delta. Interestingly, if you look at the source of the River Niger, it's just 240 kilometers to the Atlantic, but it did not take that course. It had to come towards the Sahara Desert to Nigeria, almost 4,000 kilometers before going back to the same Atlantic Ocean. So the River Niger is the only river that is close to the Atlantic but decides to flow in opposite direction before flowing back. I think there is something unique. Yeah. The very word disappointed me. But it make a confusion. Amaka disappointed me. Okay, disappointed too. I believe now you can understand the source of my curiosity. To play safe and to be sure that the meaning of Amaka has nothing to do with the song, I decided to embark on an investigative expedition to trace the source and true meaning of the word. The findings of my research were heartwarming. The word Amaka I discovered is an Igbo word that has a direct geographical correlation with our location here today. The word also means good, beautiful, or God is good. I think there's a transport service named God is good. I believe some of us came with that too. Out of expanded curiosity, but not like the type that killed the cat, I decided to quickly do a Google search for the word Amaka. Interestingly, I discovered again that the Japanese have a meaning for Amaka. Ama meaning heaven, sky, combined with ka meaning fragrance, which I quickly translated to mean heavenly fragrance. I believe the choice of Asaba and the tagline Amaka for the AGM were divinely inspired. I believe our presence here today will bring good things to our lives, surrounded with heavenly fragrance for us to proclaim that God is good. I sincerely thank you all for making it here to Asaba to connect with old friends and to make new friends, cutting across sets and chapters that will translate to business deal. I believe that happened yesterday, and true relationship that will be mutually beneficial to all of us. In the same breath, I wish to also profoundly appreciate the local organizing committee members, the host chapter, THSOSA Asaba, and its chapter president, Dr. Akpowaya Komemie, for their time and commitment to make the AGM a better possibility in defining all that is good. Well, in a few moments from now, which I believe I'll be presenting the National Executive Report for 2022 under review and projections for the future outlook of our session. Permit me at this junction to now declare the 2022-19 AGM Amaka plenary session open. I wish us all a fruitful deliberation that will continue to make our session value-based. Enjoy the ambience and the beautiful environment and cash your fund. Long live THSOSA, long live THS, long live THSOSA. THSOSA, God bless you and God bless Nigeria.
A round of applause about THS. Even before I came to THS, I saw my name in supplementary list. I said I must go to THS. Okay, so at this point in time, I want her to introduce herself well, but like I said, she's what? Beautiful, she's amazing, she's splendid, she's sweet, she's basky. No, I will say more. She's amazing, she's gorgeous, her hair is expensive, it's bone straight. Eh? It's bone off. Okay, no, alright, at this point in time, I want to just give this microphone to the former president of THSOSA chapter, Port Harcourt City. So I just wanted to just say one or two things.
We trained him in Port Harcourt, and yes, we did. During our meetings, he would say he wants to speak, he wants to anchor, he wants to MC. Now he's working. So train them young. When they come to you and say they have talents, allow them to display their talents, because now he's working. He's not asking me for money anymore. Mama, how much for transport? He bought himself here, paid for his hotel bill, staying in the same hotel with me. So you can imagine. So he's a big boy now. Congratulations. My name is Olive Ogenewayo Korefe, 92 sets, Blue House, high jump, 100 meters, long jump, march pass, if you want to know. For those of us who are into sports.
June 92.
We
came October 92.
Okay, you're welcome. We'll be talking about 40th anniversary, the plans and the expectations. And our Honorable President will be giving us the plans for our 40th anniversary, which is next year, 2023. So I want to invite our President, President Nigeria, to give us his plans. Thank you.
Topic is straightforward. THS 40th anniversary. That is, it's upcoming 2023. I want to let us know something. I'll be taking this in 3 dimensions. What was, what is, and what it should be. What was will take us down memory lane, but I'll make it very brief. And I'm happy that I think, I don't know, Sir Clement, you are the only 89 here, or we have one other person? In this hall. Okay. So at least you make my story flow. Joining me, I will call on the Benin Chapter President to say 1 or 2 things to add to what I'm saying here. Now, back to when THS started. For you to understand this, I want to take you down to the 70s. But the 70s, a steel plant was built around Testron, maybe 78, 79. But 1982, the federal government under President Shehu Shagari commissioned the Alaja steel plant in 1982. That steel plant, when they commissioned it, the whole of what you see as DSC was a virgin land. They have to convert it, they dredge sand from the Warri River, pump into that place. If you look today, the housing estate, if you try to excavate, you will see white sand absorption, instance coming out. So those places were like, but if today, when you pass the express, maybe Clement, you have an idea, all those places you see house left, right, and there was no houses there. But development started coming. But immediately after the commissioning, there was a challenge there for the staff. They need to send their children to school. So that was why they built the school 1, school 2, school 3, then DSC Technical High School. So DSC Technical High School was actually established in 1983, October 1983. So if you look at the admission register for October 1983, you are definitely going to see Clement Adeotoma's name there. When in 1983 there were 125 of them that entered THS, and they were having how many staff? Do you know how many staff? Guess. Just one. Somebody just shout a figure. Oh, sorry. 7. 7 teachers, then 1 non-teacher. 1 non-teaching staff. Yeah. But today is 2022. The population of the school is 2,000. So if you multiply that, you can see the more than 13 times. If you so you discover that facility has stretched, and interestingly, the school, you can't go to the left, you can't go to the right. The only place they can go maybe up. So that's why when they built the PTA built a library and some classroom, they have to make it a story building. But why am I saying all this? 2023 is significant in so many ways. First of all, THS will be 40 years, THSOSA will be 30 years, in the sense that in 1993, THSOSA was registered in the Student Affairs of University of Benin, 31st March to be precise, 1993. So you look at it, that is the same year. Then 2023 too, I think I will be leaving the stage. So there will be an election too for you national executive to come in. So a lot of things will happen in 2023. So we are here to understand this. It calls for.
Sorry about my voice. The AC is affecting me. Okay. Like our president has said, it's going to be a mega celebration, and all oldies, every old student is expected to be a part of the celebration. Now, we had a visit, a courtesy visit to the Premium Steel Management. We met with the CEO and other management staffs, and also the principal of THS. And we officially informed them about the 40th celebration we are planning, and they were excited about it, very excited, and they have given us their support that they will be with us all the way. And they're expecting that after we meet and make concrete plans, we'll come back to them and give them our plans, and then they know where to come in. It's going to be a collaboration. That's what we have done. The school is ready, THS is ready, the school management is ready to celebrate with us. It is left with us as old students, because you know how we do our big 40s. When for those of us, or those of you, sorry, that have turned 40, you know how you prepare for that day. It's a big one. And then for our pioneer students, our seniors, our ancestors, when they celebrated their big 50, it was a big one. The same thing we're going to do for THS. We're going to be 40 years, and it's a big one. So we expect that every old student, I know I'm stressing this, it is not about the chapter, it is not about the sets, it's about every old student. We are all going to be partakers of this. We are all going to bring our contributions and make the celebration a big one. So like our president has said, let's start taking our permissions from today or from tomorrow to keep that space free for next year. We keep planning, and whatever we come to you, please and please, we plead with you to oblige us so that we can have a smooth sail. We are starting fast, we are starting early, and we hope to get a very beautiful celebration. Thank you.
The Central Organizing Committee. Now, if you are interested that you want to be part of the committee, just write your name. Please, if you are writing everything capital letter, your name, set, chapter, then somebody will collect it. But I said this is where it's going to be serious. We'll form a WhatsApp group. We will add everybody. Sometimes we might have a Zoom meeting, but please, if you are coming, be committed and passionate about what you need to achieve. If after 2 consecutive meetings you are absent, excuse is not an option. I will remove you personally from the WhatsApp group. So I want people that are committed, that can give their all. We have between now and December, in fact, between now and the end of maybe June, by the time we form the WhatsApp group, to start bringing your ideas. That's why we say idea harvesting. Bring whatever idea you have. How can we celebrate this 40 years? What will we do? Should we have a novelty match? It's just coming from my head. That is not what I'm saying. Oh, maybe THS or this with this premium steel match. That is one. Health outreach program. Once again, just think. People, you should be talking. I think as I'm talking, I thought somebody would be saying something. That's the kind of idea generation. But what we are doing, there's a timeline. There's a timeline. Once we finish that in that WhatsApp this thing, we will not translate that into a plan of action. Whatever we are doing, by the end of the year, we should be ready to show what ourselves, this is our plan, this is what we'll be doing. Even though it's 6th to 12th of November, there are a lot of activities.
Mr. President, I would think that the 40th anniversary is something really important that we shouldn't just read through. I would think that this is the only AGM we have before the 40th anniversary. And apart from the fact that you're talking about people coming to volunteer, we should all be given an opportunity at some point to say, okay, what we think should or should not, it should be important. Or are we deciding that, okay, chapters should nominate 2 persons just the way we do with the ELECO? Or something should be decided. We can't just read through it, because there is no other opportunity for any one of us to voice out till the next AGM. And if there's anything going wrong with the planning, how do we communicate? How does this get back to us? How does it? So we need to know all of those things. We can't just say we're forming a committee. Some people here are shy, or not just shy. Some people here do not want to give their talents willingly. We should be able to drag them. So we should give the opportunity for people to drag them, like say, chapter, bring 2 persons. We can say, no, chapter, bring 4 persons. We should show a bit of ownership of this 40 years. It shouldn't be just like the ESCO telling us, okay, this will be done, this will be done, this will be done. That's what I think, because this is the big. At 30 years, it was small, but we know what we went through. As small as we were not many, we're able to do something significant. We know THSOSA. Let's not deceive ourselves. We know THSOSA. We will turn around, here we end. Because we did not decide on some concrete things, we'll be going back and forth, and to be like one person's idea from beginning to end, and then we'll start blaming everybody at the end of the day. So I just think that it's something that the ESCO should allow us look into item by item. Yes, committees. How many committees are we having? What do you need in each committee? What kind of talent do you need? Are the chapters to provide those talents? Some of those things. That's what I think we should look at. Because say everybody should volunteer. I may not volunteer. Somebody else may not volunteer, and then we will not have those issues. Yeah. Thank you very much.
2007, Warri chapter. I'm actually the acting chairman for my class. Senior Hetty has actually been pointed majority of the things I wanted to say, but I will just throw in a few lines. Of a truth, there are some persons here that might not want to bore themselves with being added to a WhatsApp group. There are also persons seated right here that might have an idea that might just be a spark to the 40th anniversary. And like she rightly said, it is actually a mega plan. So we should allocate time to it, discuss extensively here, gather ideas, and have the WhatsApp group. It's not wrong to actually throw it open for persons to join the group. It's actually good. But I think the chapter should also be mandated to have members in that committee also, so that anybody that has any idea can actually reach out to their chapter representatives also in the committee, and we move forward. Thank you.
On its own, then the 40th anniversary is on the other side. Coincidentally, we'll be joining both at that period. So I will suggest situation where the LOC Warri, which is expected to host the AGM, play the vital role. Then we set up a committee. That committee should be solely underlined for the 40th anniversary. Because if you want to make a program for this 1 week, I think the last 2 days will be dedicated.
1983 to 1994. So nice to have you in that, but I can't just introduce you and without you saying 1 or 2 things. So I think you need to come out now. Celebrate her. It's too long. I'm forgetting most of my names. I'm sorry. But I know your faces. Yes. I'm very happy to be among you today. I want to stand on your already established protocol. I'm so overwhelmed, so very overwhelmed. I happen to, for those who don't know me,
My name is Chief Erube Aroture Roslyn. For short, I call the Roslyn is hyphenated. It's short into Lynn. So most people know me as Lynn, then in Technical High School. I'm very happy to be among you. I'm happy. I'm very happy and overwhelmed to see that the young children were flocking up and down in 1983. This is Adiotomre. Yes, I can recognize most of your faces. Have turned out to be great men, great women, captains of industries. I'm very overwhelmed. I will give God the glory. Thank God there is a reverend amongst you, Reverend Uto. I think I'm very, very proud of all of you. Very proud of all of you that you have turned out right, like we expected. You know, in those days we were one happy family. The late, may God bless his soul. He was a principal par excellence. And most of the teachers were teachers par excellence. I hope some of you are teachers. I'm happy to hear that. Wow! Oh, yes. I'm so happy. I'm so happy that we did a very good job. In those days, you know, we will borrow period. If I have not finished my lessons for the term, I will borrow period from just any friend so that I can finish my syllabus. The teachers were dedicated. You children were dedicated. I'm so happy. I cannot express my joy seeing all of you today. I want to say that the Lord is taking you to greater heights. Greater heights. This is just the beginning. Greater heights is your portion. In the name of Jesus. I love you all. That's it. I love you all. I love you all. I'm happy. I'm very happy to be here. I'm happy that you people are able to organize yourselves into various chapters across the nation. Across the world. Wow! Wow! That is great. That is great. And in all, please don't forget your alma mater. Because I heard that the school has been taken over. Is that right? You are still in charge. Okay. So please don't forget that school. In those days, as the pioneer guidance counselor, you people were privileged. You were privileged because guidance counseling was only in your school, Federal Government College Warri, and Government College Ugele. In the whole of that was Bendel State. So you were privileged, and I thank God that you people did not disappoint us. I'm happy. So happy, so happy. I'm joyful. May God bless you all. Thank you.
Okay, but the EXCO want to take a group photograph with you.
Join the committee. They will follow up. Join again is that when you just volunteer and you don't meet up your commitment, nobody holds you accountable. But when a chapter or set nominates you to join the committee, they will follow up to ensure you are committed to the plan because they want to get feedback from you as to how the plan is going. I suggest the chapters and sets should nominate the members for the 40th anniversary committee.
Separate from the 40th anniversary, I think that's something to be noted properly so that we don't have conflict in whatever we're doing. You know, although they are not parallel activities, they are points of convergence, but you still have people that have to man them as separate events. Yeah. Then for the comments from Betty on the discussions and all of that, I believe that the President came with that approach, not because he doesn't want us to discuss, but knowing that if we kickstart that discussion now, we will not live here. We will not live here. We will not live here. So, and I believe he started off saying that all chapter presidents are de facto members, along with the ESCO, of the committee to plan 40th anniversary. So when you say, what do you say, volunteering, okay, if you don't have volunteers to come up, next step will be for members of the committee to make nominations of people to come into the committee to work. So I think that's already solves that problem of nominating people. Unless you want to say you are prompting chapter presidents to make those nominations right here and now. And I don't think that's the most paramount thing, but the representation is already there. That representation is already there. Then we don't need to expand on all the committees right away. We cannot expand on all the committees right away without going far away now. Say we want to form a committee on publicity right away now, fundraising and all of that. We can't do that right here and now. Expend the whole of our day doing that. The only thing that I believe that we can do right now, if you have an idea on what you want it to look like, either you write it or you speak up and say it now to be noted. It's not forever hold your peace, so that's not the end of the idea, so please, it's not forever holding your peace. You are here, speak it. But even if you are not here, you have ideas. Even if the idea does not, it comes later, pass it across. We have channels for passing across the ideas. But the important thing is to note that the 40th anniversary is coming up. I want to make it big, and your ideas will make it big. Not only your ideas, you're working towards it will make it big. Thank you.
AGM in Port Harcourt. If you miss it, you missed a lot. One of the kind has never been beaten before. So we're taking minutes of meeting so you know what happened in Port Harcourt, so that you'll be able to say what we could do in Asaba. So I'll be calling on our able secretary to give us the minutes of meeting. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. My very 18th annual general meeting held on Saturday, 13th November 2021 at the Beverly Hills Hotel, Port Harcourt, Rivers State. An opening prayer. We have the attendance page 9 and page 10 with 241 persons recorded. Sent a chapter report by email to the THSOSA National Executive Council, NEC, but the report was not captured in the minutes and was recorded as no report presented. In response, the national president said no one from the Warri chapter officially presented the chapter's report during the plenary session. As such, the report was not presented. In the absence of any further corrections, a motion for the adoption of the minutes was moved by Kalu Ndonsi of the 1990 set and was seconded by Osahon Igbinowahem of the 1992 set. Business of the day and matters arising. National Executive Council, National Executive Committee report for 2021. The National Executive Committee report was presented by the National President as follows. THSOSA team for 2021. The National President said the theme for 2021 was the impact is real when welfare is priority. He said this implies that the welfare of members of the association is a priority and that THSOSA National has implemented various schemes. These schemes align with this theme and aim at deepening the realization of the theme with members expected to play an active role in supporting in whatever aspect they can to make a success out of our best collective efforts. Election of THSOSA national executives for November 2020 to November 2023. The national president informed members of the successful election of national executive members elected at the 17th AGM held virtually on the 14th of November 2020, conducted by the chairman of the THSOSA Electoral Committee, Eleco Raymond Ehiabo, and his committee members. He said the election was adjudged credible, free, and fair by all. He thanked members of the Eleco for a job well done. Adoption of THSOSA Constitution, the third amendment. The national president thanked the chairman of 50% penalty on late registration was just too high. He finally called for an increment of the AGM levy. Bernard Fufeng in 2000 said chapters should be taxed to help subsidize the AGM registration fee. Ovo Dafiaje, 1999 said, sorry about the spelling of the name, suggested 20,000 naira as the main levy and 25,000 naira for late birds, with a deadline for payment at a week to the AGM. Akonwi and Joshua, 2008 suggested a discounted fee of 12,000 naira for early birds who pay 4 months ahead of the AGM, and the main AGM fee set at 15,000 naira, which will be paid at least a month to the AGM, after which 20,000 naira will be charged on late registration. Fufeng Bernard, 2000 said AGM fees should be based on the present realities of the AGM year, as the cost of living may increase or decrease based on the prevailing dollar rate. He suggested that the host chapter presents a budget with which THSOSA National will approve the AGM levy for that year. Itam and Kenneth, 1992 suggested that the AGM levy be pegged at 15,000 naira, while late birds are to pay 20,000 naira if they pay within a month to the AGM. The above was subjected to an open ballot vote, and it was agreed by a majority of the votes that payment of 12,000 naira for AGM is made between November of the preceding year and April of the AGM year. Payment of 15,000 naira for AGM is made between May and September of the AGM year, and payment of 20,000 naira for the AGM is made between 1st October and the week of the AGM. Chapter remittance of 50% to national. Itama Kenneth of the 1992 said the remittance of 50% to national should have a deadline and a penalty be placed on defaulters. Benawari Fufeng.
Okay, under the reading, corrections and adoption of minutes, your second sentence, Joshua Akoye, 2008 said the THSOSA Abuja chapter did not present any reports. And on the second page, or the third page rather, Abuja chapter report presented. So I think that should be corrected because the report was presented, but it was not in the brochure. Do you understand?
So, let me clarify.
Sorry. I'm Fufeng Bernard, 2006 Port Harcourt chapter president. Like what I see what Asaba was saying when he was making all those corrections, this is an official document. When someone picks it up in 3 years, 50 years time, they should state something. Like what she pointed out. Hard copy of the financial report. The final comment from President stating that this was whatever was agreed on. Even if we don't put it to a vote, if President responds to those issues and their final says to those things, so you have to write it down that okay, President said this, and it was final. Because when President says something, if we contest it, it will be contested and will not put it to vote or something. Like let's say the extension of national executive from payment. There was no response from the President on that. Item B, exemption of national executive from AGM registration payments. You have a member making response to that. It's a member that made response to that. In response, the deal suggested a provision be made for official expenses. That's the end of it. You should have a presidential remark at the end of it that this is the conclusion on this matter. It's not necessary that we must vote to it or otherwise. We must have a presidential conclusion on all matters. I think that is the point that she's raising. Thank you.
All protocols duly observed. It gives me great pleasure and honor to present the report of the National Executive Committee on our activities in the year under review. Preamble. On behalf of the National Executive, I'm excited to welcome you again to another annual general meeting of our association. It is equally my privilege to present our annual report of activities for the year ended 31st October 2022 and a brief outlook of 2023. The primary activities carried out by the National Executives with the support of members set in chapters for the year 2022 under review are as follows. THSOSA theme for 2022. The National Executive Council adopted a theme for 2021 as the same for 2022, tagged "The impact is real when welfare is priority." This retention was to prioritize members' welfare, ensure that the plan of action of the association for 2022 harmonizes with the theme, and encourage members to play active roles through financial support or volunteering to make a success out of our best collective efforts. National Executive Council meetings. During the year under review, the National Executive Council held 11 monthly meetings, including one emergency meeting. A significant innovation was implementing a standard reporting template by all chapter presidents, which involved monthly performance reports and quarterly performance reviews. The performance review helped the National to track the status and health of each chapter and respond early enough to any warning signals regarding any challenges that might impair growth and development, especially as the association is rapidly expanding to new territories. National Executive Council Mid-Year Retreat and Strategic Session. Another innovation to the activities of the National Executive Council was a mid-year retreat and strategic session held at the GQ Suites and Hotel Asaba, Delta State from the 8th to 10th of July 2022. The retreat strategic session theme was Switching Gears, Managing the Future, Expectations of THSOSA for Optimal Impact Today. The retreat and strategic session helped NEC members review the association's performance for the last 6 months and make projections for 2023. At the end of the retreat and strategic session, a communique was issued and circulated to all members through THSOSA national social media platforms. The retreat and strategic session is slated to be an annual event for members of NEC. THSOSA Diaspora Chapter Formation. If we may recall, in my New Year message to members, it was promised that we were going to embark on an ambitious project of setting up, reactivating our diaspora THSOSA chapters, and our focus will be in cities and states in the United Kingdom, Canada, and the United States. I am pleased to inform you that we have successfully set up steering committees for the 3 target diaspora chapters. They are currently compiling a central database of members resident in their countries. THSOSA UK/Europe held its first virtual meeting on the 29th of January 2020. They have held virtual monthly meetings and physical family summer hangout on the 2nd of June 2022. Efforts are in motion to get THSOSA Canada and THSOSA US to start their chapter meeting at regular intervals. THSOSA intervention during the THS strike. Our association played a major role as a mediator during the strike embarked on by teachers of THS on the 4th of February 2022. concerning some demands made to their employer, Premium Steel and Mines Limited, which were yet to be met as of the time of the strike action. We successfully kept our members informed about the true position of what led to the strike and the pending contentious issues that needed to be resolved. Additionally, we engaged the parties involved to reach a speedy and amicable resolution. The strike was eventually called off on the 14th of February 2022, and normal academic activities have since resumed. The leave allowances for teaching and non-teaching staff of THS were paid, and the teachers signed an agreement with their employer, Premium Steels and Mines Limited, on their welfare and an increment in salary, which has since been implemented. Establishment of the THSOSA Liaison Office. Our association has existed for almost 30 years with tremendous growth in membership, graduation sets, and chapter formation within and outside Nigeria. This necessitated formal requests made to the school management and the PTA, the Parent Teachers Association, for an office space to be used as a liaison office by the association, which both parties graciously approved. We finally selected the office space offered by the PTA at the school security post recently built by the PTA. It is expedient to note that the liaison office by our association will act as a bi-directional focal point for the speedy dissemination of information as a one-stop information desk in liaising with the school authority and various chapters, sets, and members concerning programs of social responsibility, coordination of various scholarship schemes for students, donations, projects, organization of interactive sessions for graduating students, notification of external competitions, both national and international, for the school participation, capacity building, and the organization of seminars for staff. To put the office to operational use, we recently received donations of some office items, an office table, a metal filing cabinet, a shelf, and books. We would appreciate it if members would make donations toward mode of dressing and conduct were raised with the school management by the National Executive Council to nip the ugly trend in the board. NEC was able to get a firm commitment from the school management to address the issues raised and pledged to organize a seminar for the teachers as part of solutions to the issues raised to maintain the standard of excellence the school has been well known for over the years.
THS Speech and Prize Giving Day, SPGD. The 32nd THS Speech and Prize Giving Day ceremony was held on the 19th of August 2022 with one of our own, Dr. Okemute Akwemuje, as the special guest of honor. Prizes were donated by individual members, sets and chapters in cash and kind, laptop, gas cooker, and scholarship to the best students in each of the various subjects for the 2021-22 academic sessions. Prizes were awarded to 3 outstanding teachers nominated by the students to appreciate their efforts and contribution to academic excellence and discipline. The special guest of honor, and with support from his group of friends, launched the THS Vintage magazine in his capacity, and THSOSA National also launched the magazine. Total cash donated for prizes paid directly to THSOSA National Bank account amounted to 1,561,000 naira only. Special appreciation to the following members of the Speech and Prize Giving Day Committee: I, Moa Thompson, National Financial Secretary; Laura Azegwobo, Assistant National Financial Secretary; Ufoma Anikebe, National Treasurer; Ejiro Akonwe, National Public Relations Officer; and Hetty Ebofuele for the huge success recorded with the support of our wonderful donor family. Participation in THS 30th Inter-House Athletic Competitions. During the 30th Annual Inter-House Athletic Competition held on the 24th of February 2022, THS oldies were in attendance in large numbers and played prominent roles. The chairman of the day was Engineer Collins Borough, 2006, who supported the event financially. He also donated 2 table tennis nets and sponsored all the t-shirts worn by all the staff in THS in conjunction with the 2000 set. The special guest of honor was Dr. John Mukoro, 1999 set. He donated 5 cups as trophies to the school. Financially supported his house, greenhouse, and the master of ceremony and entertained parents present. Also, there were financial support from Mamkoyo, Ario, 1999 set, and Aimwa Thompson, 1999 set for the event. My profound appreciation to the chairman, special guests of honor, and all THS oldies that came from far and near to grace and support the event as representatives of their sets and chapters. THSOSA Mentor Mentee Scheme, TMMS. The THSOSA Mentor Mentee Scheme, popularly known as TMMS, which is in its 2nd year, started activities for 2022 with a retreat for members of the Governing Council Hall held on the 12th of December 2021. The theme for the retreat was volunteering, based on a presentation delivered by Dr. Olie Folayan, chairman of AFBE Scotland, that's the Association for Black and Minority Ethnic Engineers. Key point for the presentation included the need for TMMS to have a mentoring handbook as a guide for mentors and mentees. This was successfully achieved with the production of the TMMS Mentoring Handbook. A webinar titled Plugging In, a Side Hustle to Your Financial Plan, was organized by the TMMS with 114 members in attendance on the 26th of February 2022. It was delivered by Tobore Olumoye, a personal finance coach, author, and past area director, Toastmasters International, with Azubi K. Aboifo as moderator. In the year under review, an induction was organized for cohort 3, that's the 10th batch of mentees, on the 9th of April 2022, with 9 out of 23 registered mentees in attendance. The induction lecture for the mentees, titled Why Mentoring is Good for You, was delivered by Faith Chika Wagbara, a certified HRO professional and business analyst, head of jobs and people performance management in Total E&P Nigeria Limited. 6 mentees were successfully paired with their mentors for 12 weeks of mentoring using the TMMS Mentoring Handbook. Our sincere appreciation goes to members of the TMMS Governing Council for putting the various program of activities in place for members of the association. THSOSA Group Life Insurance Scheme. The THSOSA Group Life Insurance Scheme, TGLIS, is in its 3rd year. It was given wider publicity through a webinar organized for members to engage with our insurance vendor, Mutual Benefit Life Assurance. This year, the scheme was open to all interested teachers in technical high school to register. They were enlightened about the immense benefits and the importance of the scheme through a presentation purposely made to them in the school. At the close of the registration for the year in July 2022, the number of registered new members and the number of existing members that renewed their insurance premium rose from 27 members recorded last year to 44 this year. A 39% increase in participation by members. The breakdown shows that we have 20 existing members, 18 new members, and 8 teachers from THS.
So, which one do you want? To go with the heading.
Scholarships, internship, and job opportunities. The information are there also in your brochure. THSOSA National Week was another initiative that came up, information there with you. We also started the THSOSA Social Extravaganza. We have THSOSA member in politics, in welfare support for members. This will permit me to read. The following are some of the financial support activities coordinated by the association through the collective support of individual sets and chapters for members in need of assistance. A compassionate support for the preterm quadruplets. The sum of 1,317,000 naira only was raised directly through donations to the THSOSA National Bank account by members, sets, and chapters, which has been remitted to the family of Michael Leverbo to support their preterm quadruplets. We have sets and chapter support for members. And then if we go on to page 24, irreparable loss of members. With heavy hearts, we announce the passing to glory of 6 of our members within the period under review, which was brought to the notice of the association. And if you lend me your ears, they are listed as follows. 1. Ifediora Fidelia, set of 1992, who passed on the 3rd of January 2022. 2. Dogo Prosper Ejakobi, 2017 set under Unit THSOSA, who passed on the 24th of May 2022. 3. We have Tunde Omonde Terry, still of the 2017 set under Unit THSOSA, who passed on the 3rd of October 2022. 4. We had Ernest Akolo of the 2003 set, who passed on the 17th of October 2022. 5. We have Ukeme Jackson of the 1999 set, who passed on the 30th of October 2022. And 6. We have Daniel Miera Habila, still of the 2017 set under Unit THSOSA, whose event took place on the 31st of October 2022. At this junction, I plead with you that we rise for a minute of silence in honor of our financially when the need arises. Finally, my profound appreciation goes to the members of the National Executive Council for working tirelessly with commitment and passion to ensure we all deliver on our promises and exceed expectation. Thank you for listening. Long live THSOSA as we continue to keep the furnace burning. God bless THSOSA. God bless Nigeria.
Because 2 executive members relocated, Ibere, Ibikule, and Iweje Voke Udesi, while one resigned due to her job needs. But Mr. Osahan Ibilowaya has replaced Amwa as the new chapter financial secretary. Other offices are yet to be occupied. Now, last week, the vice president also relocated. So currently, we have 3 executives out of the country and we have 6 members as the strength of the Abuja chapter executive. Thank you very much. The report can be, you can refer to the brochure for every other information. Thank you.
Not to bore you with plenty details, our chapter report is as presented to you. Our chapter report is as presented in the brochure. The only thing I want to add to that is that if we look at our chapter report, we have chapter members as 171, average attendance as 36. Then if we go on to the dues, you see about 598,000. I think it's not really reflective of numbers. When you see numbers such as that, you expect greater reporting strength via revenue or attendance. So I think that's something that we should try. I think that's not peculiar to Port Harcourt chapter only. That's something that is across all the chapters. So I would like us to please improve our commitment, either in your dues or your attendance, because you cannot have that numbers and it's not reflective anywhere. Thank you very much.
I think somebody corrected that earlier, that you always add the Nikukwa. We have 2 Lauras in THS. So I think it's 3 now. There's a junior Laura somewhere. Okay.
That means essays. You have to be saying
I'm of the 96 set, and I'm the president of Benin chapter. Okay, everybody that has spoken has been brief. I will just try to do it like they have done it. So we have 6 executives in Benin chapter. We have an average of 9 members in attendance. Every other information is in the brochure. I will just briefly run through the finances. Our income for the year was 504,200, expenditure 431,700, and we have a balance of 72,500. I have my chapter members here, and I'm sure they can confirm every information concerning the chapter here. Thank you. Let me be brief too. We have presently 11 ESCO members made up of the President, Vice President, Secretary, Assistant Secretary, Financial Secretary, Assistant Financial Secretary, Treasurer, Social Media Officer, Public Relations Officer, Provost, and Guest Official. In this, the period under review, the chapter activities increased, and then there was an increase in attendance, in the average attendance of members this year, and then there's a slight increase also in our financial commitment to the chapter by way of dues. Captured in the brochure is our financial statement for the year. Thank you.
President, Lagos chapter, standing in on behalf of the President, THSOSA, at his request. Like I said, this is Lagos. I'm going to make it very brief and run through Right.
Lagos is speaking now.
Right, so we are Lagos. So for the year review, it covers, like every other person, 1st of November to 1st of November 2021 to 31st of October 2022. The chapter executive for Lagos was re-elected, so we have another 3-year tenure. I hope JACPA does not cause that to change. But we have a 3-year tenure. Our executive is currently a 10-man exco. And I think we have done very well for this first year. On average, we have WhatsApp membership of 141 with 58 financially active. We've had 10 hybrid meetings across the year with an average of 37 members in attendance monthly. I think the key point for us, apart from the revenue, will be our activities for the year. As Vice President, it's been a bit of a busy year for me. We had 2 activities, one in May, one in August.
both of them were very wonderful. When I saw the pictures from when I was working, I made a promise to myself that I would never miss another THSOSA Lagos event. We had very wonderful activities at both events, and we did exceptionally well. I think we're going to wrap up the year. No, I think we're going to wrap up the year with something that will be very memorable. Like Port Harcourt, the figures don't match the revenue. So we have almost 150 people, and it's a lot of work mobilizing funds. While this is not part of the report, for me, let's just know that it is a responsibility. The fact that you are a member of THSOSA means you owe the association, and it is a responsibility to pay. Let's not leave it to those who are in charge of managing the funds to also chase the funds. It's a lot of work. Thank you very much for your attention, and let's hope to have a very wonderful AGM. Thank you.
57 members will average. We have 8 members attending meetings regularly. Financial members are about 5. Financial report is there. There's a summary there. We have the total income for the year in question, 206,000, and the balance is about, expenditure by 161. Also, we had some chapter activities, during the end of year party, the retreats that we had, and then there's some welfare engagements. Thank you very much.
I don't know if this should be under matters arising or AOB. In line with the event of this 2022-19 AGM, I wish to propose to the House that it becomes adopted for us to have the Steel Connect, which we did the maiden edition in Asaba. It's a proposal which I believe is very crucial as far as the AGM/Union is concerned. Yesterday was an opportunity for us to connect with one another based on what we do or what we need. Yesterday, one of the young men who had a fish farm was able to connect to another person who had an opportunity to give for government to take students to his fish farm. Yesterday, somebody who was supplying sand had a connection with another person to be dredging sand for him. The Steel Connect has become vital, and I feel it should be part of our system, because when we come together, we are no longer students from various fields. You don't know, there's somebody who needs something you have, or somebody who have something you need. So it's an opportunity for us to meet with ourselves, interact, and let's give it a sense of bite. Let everybody be involved in it. And those who were part of it yesterday, I'm sure were glad that they were part of that event. So I want to call on the House to look into it and make it as a national matter for every AGM. This is my proposal. Thank you.
What you want to say, and in addition, part of the learning curve, let me put it this way, from the last report, when we raise issues like this, we need to put a conclusion to it. So, for what you are saying, it's an initiative of THSOSA Asaba chapter, but you want national to adopt it so that any, irrespective of which chapter is organizing AGM, that business connect must be an item on the agenda. Confirm that is your... Yeah. So with this, let us not waste time. Let me just go this way. Is the House in support of that? Yes. Yes. So there's a conclusion to this matter now. You want to say something? Okay, let me just say this. When the unit THSOSA was formed, it was like a challenge. We look at it, should it be run through the chapter or from national? Because it was a new concept. We believe that maybe if we go through the chapter, for them to really have an understanding of what it is, we might not move at the same pace. So that's why now, okay, let us put it under the office of the vice president so that it can coordinate nationally. You understand? But in doing that, he has to carry the chapter president along. And this unit THSOSA staff, immediately they finish their SS3. That is where we start from to our first. Then, let me put it that way. Before they move into, because I think we have our 3 stages. After graduation from THS, then there's a period where they are in the university, we follow them. Immediately they leave when they are serving. So there are 3 critical stages. So we need to follow up on them. So which he has been doing. And as if he spoke my mind too, because I think on 1 or 2 occasions I have to discuss with Togo that you need to groom someone for succession planning that will take over. So I believe he's doing that already. It's not something that will just take him by surprise. And by the time, I don't know, there's a change of leadership, I believe something will be in place.
So is it constitutional that the office of the
much words in my mouth to say. I'm just trying to see how few I can squeeze out with respect to what I do as the coordinator of the unit THSOSA chapters. And just to clear an opinion, I am not working alone. Every chapter president who has been on the seat between 2018 and now have been my strongest support. The only ground I am yet to break even is in Lagos for some peculiarity reasons. So Lagos chapter is the only chapter where the presidents are not feeling the heat and the stress of unit THSOSA. But Port Harcourt chapter will tell you, Benin chapter will tell you, Warri chapter will tell you, okay, Asaba and Abuja is also exempted because we've not found members in their jurisdiction for now. I want to appreciate here the chapter presidents, the past for Port Harcourt, Olive, present Bena, Laura in Benin, and Rolly in Warri for the great roles they played. They know details what goes on in the unit THSOSA space, so I've not been working alone. Hetty had given me some support in the past in Lagos, yeah, but Lagos didn't land it. I'm able to do this because, like you have rightly identified, it's my passion. Currently outside THSOSA, I handle over 10,000 teenagers in Nigeria, reporting through also to my office. So it's something, it's just me, it's what I do. Just a moment. We have 6 running chapters, right? In the unit THSOSA space, based on their school locations, as of today, we have 13 chapters running. And I see our report of chapters having 171 members, 140. I have 1,000 persons reporting through to me. I wonder how one person can handle all of that. We are not stopping at 13. We have more chapters. We had hoped to pull up more chapters this year, but the ASU strike has really dealt badly with us. Hopefully before the end of 2023, we might have more than 20 chapters up and running.
Is it start at school chapters or
school? Based on school location. Based on school location. I'll give you an example. We have a Fupri chapter in Warri. We also have the Delsu chapter still under Warri, being coordinated by the Warri chapter and also financed, supportedly financed by the Warri chapter. Warri chapter sponsored member coming here. Lagos chapter also sponsored one of them coming here. That's how I relate with the chapter. So just to let you know, it's not a me alone. If I should step out, I know someone like Bena can run the Port Harcourt chapter, easy because he's there. Both the Port Harcourt and the Owerri chapter report also through Bena. But the thing is now, the way unit THSOSA is run is separate from the way each chapter is being run, and that's where that lead concern comes in.
How are we going to manage this? These, like he called them, are children who sometimes we look at you and who are you? Who can, if you don't have the passion for this, I'm sorry, we just vote somebody, take that seat. We might end up crashing the whole thing. So, I am here saying, for the meantime, until we accept what will be, I am willing to run with it. But I also look forward to having it formalized in THSOSA, where I wouldn't be the person running it. I have not grown the gray hairs like my colleagues in the ministry, but I'm growing old too. Thank you.
At the chapter level.
Let him finish.
First of all, they have to have finished 28 years after. They have to have spent at least 28 years post THS graduation. They also have to be active members at the chapter level. They also have to be active members at the chapter level.
Hello.
We have them in some chapters, but we have them across all chapters. So these are things that we need to put in consideration.
Hello, get me right. The reason why I allow Bernard what I will say, because at the end of the day, the Constitution does not need the House to say to come here to approve who will be a board of trustee member. It says NEC should present to President and President should approve them. We can formally inform the House. So, up 6 months is not too much.
It's 2 months. 3 months. In December, sir. When we eat Christmas rice.
Up 6 months is not too much.
In nominating persons for the BOT. This is a good opportunity for us chapter presidents to nominate persons. I will suggest that we make a nomination right away. You go back to your chapters. Why? Hold on. It didn't state you have to go back to your chapter. It didn't state you have to consult your chapter. It said chapter president will nominate. How many persons do you have that qualify for that position? Okay.
They came to the realization that it's not proper for chapter presidents to just make recommendations on that day without consulting their chapters. I will ask all chapter presidents to go back and at our next meeting should come back and make recommendations. We did not follow up on that time when it was passed. We have another next meeting in December, I believe. I think that by December next meeting, all chapter presidents should come back and make their recommendations so that the president can submit their recommendations so that by January we have this issue wrapped up. Thank you very much.
1,000 naira. Because they failed to do what they were supposed to do. Because by the time you are penalized for doing what you're not supposed to do, next time you do what you're supposed to do. If I have those in support, can I have the eyes?
Hello, there are 2 issues here. If we're in support of the deadline of 31st December 2022 of the next meeting, December next meeting, yes. So can we raise up our hand? Are we in support? Okay. There are 2 things here, please. So are we in support of this? Okay. So thank you very much. Now, the other issue here is that for the default, for defaulting, yes, for chapter president, we support that it should be penalized.
We're registering directly with the host chapter. I don't know how we are going to deal with it because I think it's a bit rampant in my chapter. You see several persons, maybe like 20% of persons that registered from the chapter registered directly with the host chapter. So I think I don't know if it's because of dues, but it is something that's been ongoing. Even ESCO members pay directly to the host chapter. I don't know how the NEC or the national body can help curtail this. Thank you.
The various sets also
And I'm at a loss why we are trying to stop those that do not pay through chapters. That's not to say that people should not pay their chapter dues at all. So I'm just why should we stop this? I'll listen to the clarification.
Let me. There's a chain of command. That you are a member of your sect does not confer you THSOSA membership. Your THSOSA membership is aligned from your chapter. So if you have people in your sect who say, AGM is happening, I want to attend AGM, they have to be in a chapter. If they on their own decide, there's a fee for the AGM, I pay that, that's them contributing to the AGM cost. It is not them having a right to speak. In fact, if we were to strictly enforce the Constitution, they will not even be allowed into the meeting.
We agree with that.
So if we allow people to say, I'm in THS, I went to THS, I'm in 98 set, I want to pay for AGM. What are they paying for? The right to attend the meeting, or they are contributing to the expense of the meeting?
I think we should allow the persons to decide what they want to do. You want to have the right. Yes, we're trying to encourage you to be chapters, but we are encouraging you to be chapters. You resisted. You have the right to say, I want to contribute to the AGM. Or you have
in what capacity?
We strictly enforce that you are not a financial member, you cannot financially active, you cannot speak, the rules are there and there. If the person wants to, if the person is on his own position, does not want to identify that chapter, you will full knowledge of the consequences. The person has
one house.
Hello.
One house.
Hello.
The AGM is a very emotional affair when it comes to THSOSA right now, because of the way we have sold it in time past. For those who did not come, when they see us, when in Asaba, no, wow, what happened? And we highlight everything, and people start looking forward to the next AGM. Now look at November of next year. 40 years. It's looking very glamorous before anything has come out. Now we have people who are emotional. In my class, somebody is in Ecuador, for example, and he wakes up and says, guys, I want to pay for 20 people to go to the AGM. And he remits that money. Somebody picks up that money and says, Asaba, you are hosting AGM. This is money for 20 people. Now, it's not something we should come here and argue over. If, at when we're doing accreditation this morning, from NEC, who said, those without orange, those without this will not speak, please act in line with the Constitution. We have a Bible, that's this Constitution that's meant to guide us. I don't know why we keep jumping in and out of this Constitution. If we do not respect this book, then we'll have issues. President, I've told you on this several. The Constitution is the Torah of this association.
I want to get you clear. What exactly are you saying?
That stick to the Constitution on matters. I remember I'm a member of this constitutional committee that says, and I remember when we were drafting, we said, for those who want to attend, they should affiliate themselves to a chapter. I don't even look at it. I remember vividly when we were discussing it, and discussed at length, and said, if for those who want to come to the AGM, yes, it's fine, you want to come. But there are certain categories, there are certain criteria that you must meet. It doesn't end paying for the AGM. Sorry, sir, please. By the time you say you are coming for the AGM, the onus is on the LOC not to boss with this, on the people that are hosting. You have come for AGM, you have paid AGM money. Please, are you affiliated with the chapter? Are you? We don't want to come here and be wasting time. Follow the Constitution. The Constitution is explicit on this matter. Thank you, sir.
People that pay directly to you bring the list, they will now harmonize and try to see, okay, these people they are in maybe Benin or worry, we try to put it by location on this, and we send back to the chapter president. Look at this. Are these your members? If they are not your members, it will be an opportunity for chapters that need more members to reach out to those people and tell them, because we have their numbers. So you say, oh, I discovered that you paid in the AGM, but you are not coming to our meeting. You try to harvest them to come to my chapter. That is was the selling point. But at the end of the day, we close the whole thing and we decide to come with this tag so that we identify those that are financially active. So that is where we are. So we are here. Last AGM, this was not in existence. So we are making progress. Well, if you want to go my problem here, let me tell you. Without a constitution, THSOSA can still work. It can still work. It can still work. But because of arguments, we just want to a reference where we can point to things that, oh, we mentioned this. That is why we have this, to guide us. But the truth here is that let us take time to go and look at these artists we discussed. Somebody here was saying to circulate a report so that we come to this to have less time. But these artists we have discussed and have circulated to chapters to circulate to their members. But apparently, who are having here, they are not seeing this thing for the first time. They are just seeing it. So whatever conclusion, I'm good by it, and I'm good at communicating something to better. So whatever we say here, please be reminded, if you are saying it and we are voting, know that you will comply. Because once I stand by it, I will want to, by this, I'll be the president, I want to implement this thing. And nothing. Sorry.
Let us abide by it. Then we make a motion moving on from now. And I am of the motion that if someone is not active and the person cannot speak in AGM, they don't collect his AGM levy. Let him not register. Yes! If the person who is not active, then he should not be allowed to register. In the process of registering, he should be asked if he has paid AGM fee. If he has not paid AGM fee, then they should not collect it. If he's not paid AGM fee, his AGM fee should not be collected. So that we sort all these matters.
I only want to advise and provide solution to all of this. When we get back to our various chapters, chapter presidents, please, during your meetings, you can start practicing. For those who are not up to date on this, don't let us be during your meetings. We will not get to this point. Trust me. We will not get to this point. I've said it before. Gone are those days where we beg to be members of the assembly. No, we are way past that. If you don't want to come, don't come. If you don't want to participate, don't participate. You have no rights to decide personally how you want to pay your dues or what you want to do with your dues. If you have an issue with a sitting ESCO, how your dues have been handled, fight your ESCO to the death in your meetings. But please don't come here and waste our time. Thank you.
Asaba chapter. Yes, what I want to say concerning this thing is 93 sets. What I'm talking about now is we need to move forward from where we are. We already have a problem with the Constitution. We need to accept that. That part of the Constitution that says, members from all chapters, branches, and graduating class groups shall only be allowed to participate in proceedings in the hall if they have been duly registered for the annual general meeting. It's already a confusion because it says that let me just land, because it already gives you a right to take part in what's happening here. So no. But what I'm saying, so we should just
Can she finish?
Yes. So this is one, and then the issue of who is an active member. We also need to look at it. We should come here if it's going to be important in deciding who comes for the AGM. So I think at this point we should move a motion to amend it. Then we move forward from here. So that whether we can add to it or do whatever I not read all of the Constitution to know the method by which we can amend or add something to it. But we can just do that so that we can move forward. So the Constitution can actually do anything without money.
Okay, thank you.
Worry.
You don't come on now, they take picture now.
Guys, my name is Joshua Akomye, class of 2008 from Abuja. I'm here at the THSOSA Asaba-Amaka AGM 2022. Honestly, it's a very great time seeing all my old friends from different chapters and different sets, and it's a wonderful experience coming to Asaba. And so far so good. It's been a very nice time, and I tell you the truth, Asaba did a very wonderful job hosting this AGM, and it was wonderful. Peace out, guys.
Okay, my name is Mrs. Laura Azegbobo Nikukwa. I'm of the 96 set. I'm the president of Benin chapter and also the National Assistant Financial Secretary. It was a beautiful time being part of this 19th AGM happening in Asaba. Asaba-Amaka 2022. It's been an awesome time meeting old friends, meeting old classmates, and the major part of it is the connect, the business connect. I had an opportunity to sell my business to as many people that were here, and also hear from others for what they do, because you know this connect thing, when you have something to do and you have an oldie, you get discounts, or you can even have assistance here and there, and also you can have patronage for your own business or your own service that you provide. So it's a beautiful thing, connecting as old students and being part of this beautiful AGM. Thank you.
Good afternoon. This is Fufe in our 2000 set THSOSA Port Harcourt chapter, reporting from Asaba-Amaka live. We just ended our plenary session. It was a wonderful time. Had a lot of contentious issues we discussed, a lot of emotions came up, and you realize that the passion that we carried when we were in THS, a lot of us carry it going forward. The camaraderie that we also carried while we were in THS, we also still feel a lot of that when you come around. This encouraging all members who are not registered with THSOSA to please come and register and participate in THSOSA activities. THSOSA is about connecting members together, business, and all other opportunities. We share ideas and network. Thank you.